Okay, hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'll be working on putting a shadow underneath the beak and enhancing some of the shadows on the American eagle here. If you want to watch 1 through 4, part 1 through 4, just go to the live feed. They're saved in there. Every Tuesday night, I've been doing, mostly every Tuesday night, I've been doing live streams of many different subject matters. Right now I'm working on a fox, and it's just starting out, so I just did the out of focus background, so maybe you could jump on. I'm on here uploading a video because I want people to know why there hasn't been a lot of uploads lately. I've been focusing on the live streams. So for those that don't know and you want to see part 1 through 4, you can watch this from the beginning, okay? For right now, this is just to get everything going and enhance this the shadow here. We've got the Createx illustration colors that are transparent, except for the white, of course, that's opaque. And I just want to work on the shadow a little bit. And here's some of the stencils that we've used. You'll see it in the videos if you jump over there. You know, you can watch it at your leisure. This one's for tonight. I'll be adding that shadow down in there that you see, okay? Other stencils that were used during the making of this painting, okay? I've got the dowels that are used for like X-Acto knives, but more gentler, and you can kind of control etching out, scratching out lines or feathers or whatever details, you know, speckles, little dots and things like that. So I have a mixture here that's just transparent. It's I think it's black, moss green, a little yellow, and a little bit of burnt sienna. Here's my palette. I was testing out, using white with a paintbrush, I was testing out a little bit of an opaque version so that I could kind of steer myself and find my way. And then I left out the white after I got the colors and tested just the transparent. So it's more see-through and behaves more like India ink in a way, you know. But so I've got some, I think I have some in the gun here. Yep. All right, so let's get busy. I don't think this is going to be a real long video because my main thing is, like I just said, is to get you guys to know that I'm doing live streams now. I advertise them too on Tuesdays on my YouTube channel. I make a little short video saying I'll be going live at 7, right? My backup day is Wednesday. So just so you know, all right? And I'll be uploading things too also. I want the channel to have both things going on. Okay, so let's just, to my left, I'm going to have another reference picture. That's a 5x7. It just helps me see a little bigger. I also have the large, oh gosh, this is like an 8x10, I think. So that really helps you see what's going on in there. Don't count that yellow fingerprint. That's when you get really going and you make a mess and you start putting paint on your photos, on your references. So I got to line this up again. I'll let it slip a little bit. I'm watching the beak here, and I'm watching the, oops, a little bit over. Just got to get it right, you know. You don't want to line it up and then have it off center. I think that's good. I'll drop it down a smidge there. That should do it. The beak's protected. So right now I'm going to go in the direction that I see. I probably should have cut that out a little more. I'm gonna take that out because I don't want a line there, you know. Wasn't thinking about that. Very easy. Overspray goes a lot further than we would imagine, right? It goes all over the place. You think that you're clean and green, and you're not. That's much better. Okay. Oh, now we'll line that up again. A little more to the right. There we go. A little up. I think that's got it. Maybe a smidge up, because I got to see where I was spraying before. I'm going with that. Okay, like I said, it's more or less just, I got to spray this light. In the beginning. Okay, so we're going to look at that and see where we're at. All right, right away the shadow pushes the beak out to look more three-dimensional, and that's a big part of the look. Now, I will get a little darker. Right now that I got the shadow there, I can see the bottom here better, bottom area. The reason why I let it go and peeked at it was because I probably could have held on to it, but I think what I'll do is put a little piece of tape. Obviously, I'm not using magnets. That will be next, hopefully. All right, so that looks good there. I have this really nice tape here. It's called Tech. Okay, you can get that from Blair at his School of Realism. It's a great tape. You can see through it. It's lightweight. It will not tear paper even. And I mean, you could tape it right on a piece of copy paper and it won't tear it at all. And like I said, too, you can see through it. You can see and draw and cut out and all that stuff. So, a little more lining up here. And then at this time, I can kind of do that. Make sure I'm happy with where it is. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, now I've got to be very careful here. I'm going to come at this and test it on the side down below here. I want to make sure I have the lightest little touch. So I have a little bit more air this time. And I'm going to pay attention to coming off of here, a little darker right where it starts to hit that, yeah, right in there. So let's get this going over here a little more. A little bit at a time. A little bit. It's got like a little bib kind of thing going on here. So I'll just freehand this, right? It's all freehand, but I'm not using the stencil at this point. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I might be able to use this a little bit right here. Spray mostly on the stencil right in the corner. Yep, that worked. Just looking at it, because there's going to be a little freehanding. So I'm going to leave this taped on here. I'm going to flip it up and use another piece of the tape. It's staying actually, but I don't want it dropping on me. Again, this tape is great. You can see right through it. Like, you can see the eye. So if you can use it for stamp, look at how it doesn't damage the paper or the painting rather. It's all good. It's like great. I've been using post notes before, but this is completely a whole new ball game with the tape that Drew found and now is selling at his store. Okay, so, and if you're not sure who Drew is, it's Drew Blair. Most people know who he is. Photorealist and art teacher from South Carolina, Charleston right now. That's where he is. He's lived in North Carolina. He's lived in, he has a studio in Blair, which is, you know, Blair, South Carolina is actually an ancestral town of his. And that's it, you know, just check it out. I don't know if I have the right means to scratch this right now. I don't really want to go crazy here. It's too fat. Okay, so what I'll do with that is there, and it gets knocked back. So let's do that very lightly. It gets knocked back. It can get darker there. And what else we want to do here? Transparent is the way to go here. I'm even going to go inside this beak here. Right here, I'm going to just kind of darken that shadow. Little by little, you know. Little by little. Where else can I use this? Can you actually use it on, I think I can use it on the beak. If I can't, if I am wrong here, then I can always just go back in with my opaque mixture of the yellow and get that to be. So let's see. I'm looking at the big one, and I'm going to just kind of come in here and deepen this right in there. Yeah, it might have a little more yellow, so I can add that right in on top of it later. I don't think I have anything mixed like that right now anyway. There, that's good. Much better. Let me see what other stencils I have laying around here. Okay. So I'm going to take, I got to get another piece of copy paper with this eagle on it. Hopefully I have more. Yeah, I do. Okay. So if I take this, kind of got overspray on, if I cut out the line, I have a cutting mat off to the whole desk is a cutting mat made by Art Tool. You put a new blade in, change the blades often, especially when you're cutting through paper, often means don't go more than a couple minutes maybe. Depends on what you're cutting. Okay, so I'm going to cut out one more little stencil. I don't think you guys can see. Let's see. I want you to kind of see this, but let me back this out. Let's see. Back out would be 5. Yeah, so if I tilt this up a little bit, you can see at least what I'm doing. So the whole desk is a 2x3 art tool cutting mat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to take, if I can see it, this isn't such a good, the overspray is killing me on this stencil. Let me see if I have any more that I could use. Yeah. I can use this one, I think. I'm going to cut out right here. So I see it goes down. I got to draw on it first. I see that it goes, overlaps right here. And it goes this way, like that. That's better. So I want, what do I want? I want actually that bottom piece, which is small. Let me see. Hang in there with me. I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to cut on the line. And I'm going to pull that right on through. It's just the mouth line, where the two separate sections come in. And I'm going to detach it right here. But I'm going to let it be attached here. So it might stay. It's probably going to fall off. But I want to line this up. I'll just take it off. That's hanging in there, so might as well leave it. All right, so I want to just clean this up a little bit more right here. Some of these things get covered with overspray, so get off there. And the mat is really soft and it allows you to cut into it deep. Okay, so we want to basically just go to that corner. If I can get it lined up right, I will use this. If not, I won't. Just a little bit, a little higher. And this is over more like that. There we go. I was too far over. Just a whisper. That's about it. Just making that a little darker because it's really more, I should be spraying yellow there too. That gives it a little rounder look. Okay, so let's go right. I got to put the yellow color back in over here. Let's get some feathers going on in here. Should put you back on the right angle. Sorry. And we'll zoom in again. There we go. All right, so keep looking at this one, and I'm just looking and hunting for little areas that I can do little feather strokes in. the white will come around that and make more sense. Not enough pressure, so I got a little speckly. Got to find that right pressure. Let me get a curve to help me. Everything's all over the place here. Try this one. Now raise it up a little bit and just enhance some areas. Now I can kind of stay away from the top and do some individuals. Okay. I'm just looking around for areas. The photograph is so white, there's not much 3D going on the top of his head. So I kind of am making mine like as if you turn the contrast, up a little bit. I'm making mine my own. You might say a little darker areas. And what else? We've got I got to look at it now because I don't want it to get too dark or I'll start losing. It'll just be like too dark and that will be no good. Really trying to touch it very lightly here. Yeah, it's too dark, so I got to be careful. I have to make a lighter mixture for this one. Just hinting it in, because then it will get into a black world, and I don't need that. The feathers are going to have a darkness on it that will be almost black, which would be, this color would help. It's very dark at the bottom, but I'm still letting the brown show. You can see how dark that is. You can see the color in there though. All right, so that's enough of this dark. I am going to bring one more thing in here, just a little curve on this one. Kind of curves out that way. And a couple of little blue skies here that are just kind of running into that area. And that's it. As far as, because it's more of a bluer kind of feather over there. So let me get rid of this dark. I do see one more area that's darker though. Oops, that's not the right one. It is right up here. where I taped it. Just fall back in line, sorry. Now, of course, it covered right where I wanted to look. I hit right here. I'm looking at the picture, and it's just going to be a little wider right there. Yeah, okay. So there's not enough in the bottle in the airbrush cup to pour back into the paint there, so that's the end of that. Okay. I'm so used to doing the lives that I feel like this is a live stream, but it's not. That, again, don't forget to go over to the live stream to watch part 1 through 4. Okay, I decided to put this one on. I wasn't even going to do any more on this particular painting because I told the guys I'll post the finished picture of the shadow and some detailing, because it starts to get a little boring, I think, after a while. I don't know. I'm taking the white now, and I'm going to be on the side here, just putting it inside of a solo cup, little cup here. So I'll just be putting the white in there. That's rather thick. I got a kind of a funky batch in my last 16-ounce bottle, and I was going to return it, but I've got the 40/21, the small bottle I saved, and I've got a paintbrush here. Stir this up, and now it will behave like my other bottle of white. Just came that way, too thick. Okay, so now I need to, I gotta put a smidge in there. Hold on 1 second. Okay, that might do it. Gotta fight the blue shift. And just know that the opposite of the counter attacker would be orange, because blue shift is an ugly gray that happens if you spray light over dark. So I've got to kind of make my own little color here. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. All right, we're going to put the flap back down here. I don't want to keep hitting the phone. I'm working around the phone. Okay, so let's see what happens. This kind of got more weight right in here. Whoa, that was before. Turn the volume down there. Mac valve. My air pressure's on about 25 off the compressor. So now I'm putting the white back in here, and I'm going to try to play around with, let me just try this. I'm going to lighten some of this area right here. Freehand stroke. There we go. Little line. That's good. And then I could play off of that and make some feathers. I can lighten some areas that are not what I wanted. So let's do that right here. Takes it right out. It still looks pretty white too. And this area is skinnier. So we're just going to erase it. with the white. And it's shifting a little to blue, but it's going to have white go back on top of it. And there is a blue tinge in my gray, my original gray, so I'll be happy with that. I don't like how dark that shadow is. So it's a back and forth thing. I hope I have enough here to, nope, I don't for this one. All right, so we have to take a little bit more out from this one. So I have to, I don't want to do that. Let's see if I could do something else. Give me a second. It's thinking through it, you know? So thinking of different ways to get around this. Find that same roundness right there is good. I'm only going to hit this area right here anyway, right there. I'm going to lighten that shadow a lot. Knock it back. It's just subtle, you know? It's not real strong. I don't like this. It's going to have the blue in it later, so I'm going to just lighten that again. Maybe it will shift to blue and I can let that blue shift work for me. It kind of did. And then this is bright right here. This will be bright. Freehand that in a little bit. And this side. Now I want air pressure, air volume, because I want to do some feather strokes cutting into that. Knock that back. So I'm just knocking them in to make them look like they're part of the picture. Here. Cut through here. I just ordered a new nozzle from my Micron. Process of elimination. Head assembly, about $125. I'm going to try to use the old head assembly. It's a little marked up because I was an idiot using pliers on it. Really bad. But I've had this since 1990, I'm going to say 6 or 7. But anyway, I ordered a new needle. I had the whole gun cleaned out by a professional because it wasn't working at all. And I've been using sharpen air to sharpen needles, but there's only so many times you can sharpen it. And so I'm getting a new needle and a new nozzle. And that should make this behave like a Micron. And if it doesn't, then I will be getting the head assembly, which comes with a nozzle anyway. Process of elimination. That's sloppy. That's nice, that one. Okay. A lot of knocking that back after. Let's see. Before I get crazy here. Yeah, I'm going to kind of. Yeah, there's where the Micron's still acting a little like it's not as fine. It can get so fine, and that line is, plus I'm kind of one-handed. I usually do something like this. It's a little hard to do with everything in the way here. Make that a little fatter on purpose. Okay. Here's where the speckles came in. I will clean that up. Little subtle feathers. I hope I'm not blocking that too much. There's those speckles. Send them around. And yes, I did turn the volume up on the paint because it needs it for my quick dagger strokes there. All right, let me look at it before I go any further. I'm all happy until I did that one spot, but there's other ways to make feathers too, so I just have to take my time. All right, so now I'm going to go still knock some of these back a little bit. So the gray started to come out. I guess I didn't clean the airbrush really that great. Has a little bit in the maybe the bottom of the color cup that the white was still working around. Weird, but okay. So now I'm going to get some white, pure white, because there is that's going on in the in this photograph. So I'll just take it. This is the one that flows like very liquidy from the big bottle does not behave that way. And you got to go after that tip dry. I'm just testing this gun on the side. It would help if I turn the MAC valve the right way. All right, so now here we're going to cover this again one more time. There's a nice white bunch of feathers busting out right here. Right, a little more rounder, right there, right there. It's just like much whiter. Where else? Far away. Putting the whites in. And where else? Right here on each side of this feather. try a shield now. See how we do with it. It's got some pretty thin lines. You can get this shield from Drew. I gotta get the right direction. So we're gonna go I think we can go right here, and we'll try it. There we go. Went up onto the thing a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. That's what I should have done in the beginning. We'll do a straighter one right here. So I'll let that flap down. That way, I'm not going to ruin anything. So we're going to take that curved one again and just put it right there. There's one. Now they kind of turn a little bit. We'll get this one. I got to find out where I want it. Right here. That's that little guy there. There's some more on top of this one. I got to get between that and put it in there. That's working. This one's kind of like a little bit fuzzy. How can I save myself on that one? These are pretty thin, so I'll just... Then they start going... Well, I have other shields, too, that have different size. Openings and stuff. Little highlight here. Hope you can see it. Let me move my hand down and come in from the side. I should know better. Tip dry, right? Don't try if you got tip dry. Do not continue. Little tiny dots. Whoops. Back. Kind of hard to show everything when your hands are blocking. That's not a good thing. All right. Now, how can I go after that part? Let's see. wherever it goes overspray into the the brown area. I can deal with that with the brown, just cover it over. So I'm not too worried about that right now. Just one of the many shields that you can get at Blair School of Realism. Even the edges of this are nice for this kind of stuff. Okay. This would be this way. Where am I? Like I said, the overspray can all be cleaned up. Very simple, you know. The brown will cut back into that. Just want some 3D coming off of the feathers that are kind of just, where was my one thing here? I need, that's for outside, so I need the inside piece. Might not have that readily available because I wasn't planning on doing so much to the white area. I am going to empty that white out. And I'm going to take the area that got a little, like this was working out great, but I did that. So I have to kind of repair that a little bit, or else I'll just have an ugly thing there, and I don't want that. Okay, that would be, where's that color? There it is. And a little tiny bit of that. Okay, so I'm going to try to knock that back, that area that is got that really bad freehand stroke. It's going to get bright, but at least it's not ugly, and then I could shade around it. All right. So let's take, I think that knocked it back. Let's see, a little bit more. That fixed it, I think. A little more over here so we can balance it out. There. Haven't done just an upload in a while, but I've been busy on this channel doing the live streams. That's the main reason why I'm getting your attention here. Somebody might say, oh, look how much you painted of this, but it's all there live. So get you over there to watch other things and to look at what's already been done. Now, where is my gray? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to go once again with the darker right in the beginning, right there. And let's look at that. That's better. That's a lot better. Now, let's see if we can pin that down and get a little bit of a darkness kind of put in here. There. And here. The shield has those openings. I got speckles there now. But that same touch-up color you just saw me use, you know, is fine to make that happen. So I'll just go over this area right here. Get a little more shadow in there. That's good. That's good. Dark there. Now, one problem goes away and another one comes. That's all right, though. So, where else? Just mainly here. What I tell you guys, right? Tip dry. If it's not coming out, you got a problem. Just want a little bit here. There we go. Here's darker. I'm just looking at the painting, the picture, the photo, and I see a little darkness right here. Kind of helps it have a little turn to it. And right here, one more time, just a whisper. There we go. Just a little whisper. Okay, so I will put more of those white things in. Let me see. Yeah, I'll put more, you know, to keep going after this back and forth with the black or the gray tone is going to be like rinse and repeat, you know, because I made a mistake with the speckles. So I'm going to go to my correction color. If you are looking for a little bit of a blue, That's fine, because that's what the white will do if it goes over the dark. So in my case here, I'm going to just take the color I already have mixed and test it on a piece of white paper. It's still, yeah, it's still coming out dark and horrible. Man, that gray won't go away, right? So just flushing it a little better. Can't wait till, I think Monday, the new parts come for this gun. And then if all else fails and I have to get a new head assembly, then at least I went through the process of elimination. Because, okay, so now try again with the white. I'm running low here. Don't want no gray in there. There we go. I think that will do it. Oh, that son of a gun. All right, time to put a little bit more white into this thing. And here we go. Hopefully this will be a cleaned out gun. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So, one more time. Right in here. Let me get the stir stick here. I could break it off, but, you know, I got a long stir there that I... All right, so I'm going to come up under this way and just mist over those dots till they're gone. It'll get light again, but it's a back and forth thing, but that's good there. Let's try right there. This will act as the tool to hold it down. Let's go right there and see what we can get right there. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Okay, so for putting the brown, I don't think I have the brown. I could end the video with that. Oh, I still see those little guys. Hold on. It's going to have to get pretty bright. Yeah, so I'll just bring the darkness over a little bit more, and that will do that. This has some dotty kind of things going on. You know, little speckles. Over in here, you can put a little bit of white right there. Knock that back a little bit. Like I said, some of the darks, the photograph is all white there, you know, so it's like not very, not a lot of 3D going on the top of it. There's yellow on here, got on there from overspray. Okay. I'm just looking at it. Oh, that dumb gray came out again. Right there. Ugh. But watching a video and seeing things go wrong is a very big, powerful learning tool. Air dry. Opaque will dry. The opaque paint will dry really quick. And we'll just get rid of that ugly color right there. Kind of square this off a little bit here. I'm going to save that for my new, yeah, these little details within. I'm going to save that for the new parts on the airbrush when I tweak it privately, off camera. Because there's a lot of cool things going on in here that are just what I would call tweaking it. And I'm not going to do that now. I want that airbrush running primo. So, okay, so we've got that. I think I have the brown. Let me see if I do. Number 8 brown. What number was that? Let's see. I don't think that was the number, but it might be. Nope. Where did it go? Give me a second. Because if I had left the lid off, then it's too late, for that particular color. I thought I had it right here. I do have another brown. Nope. That one's dried up. All right, I'll take sepia for what it's worth. It's a dark, very dark color. And I'm just going to put it right into the airbrush after I get a little bit of reducer in it. Because it's thick. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's very thick. My goodness. It's like my white comes out. Ugh. See if I can get this going here a little bit. And maybe a little burnt umber. And that'll do. A little sepia. Not sepia. Burnt sienna. Don't shake the bottles, by the way, when they're open. I just did. It only went on my hand, but it could have been a disaster. I'm in a tuxedo here, and I don't want to get anything on it. Not really. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, so one more time, a little more burnt umber. I'm kind of making the color. I know there's other things in it. I know there was other colors in it. And even if I just find the lid will have the recipe on it. Like for this gray, you can see the recipe is, this was number 14, white, black, it looks like cobalt blue. That made that gray for my fox painting. So it just quickly reminds you what you used. It's like a little helper. It even has, I even use dots and stuff to say, oh, well, 4 dots means I definitely put a lot of white in, etc., that kind of thing. 1 dot for like an opposite color because it's overpowering. And it works for me. Yep. This is another example. Let's see. There's number 4. This was, I don't think it was this painting. It might have been the orange for the beak there. But you got orange in it. You got white, yellow. And I say drops. When I say drops, I mean, you could put a little bit in to get something started, but then I started tweaking it. You got violet. And violet has to be a speckle. Burnt umber, send this into a brown or orange. Burnt sienna to make it stay orangier brown, as opposed to putting orange in it. It's more warmer. It's more. Okay, so let's just see if I can touch this up a little bit here. So we take this shield and we're just going to use it where we can. Just kind of, yeah, just like that. Take the smaller one and we'll shoot off this side. Too much air, I got to turn that down. Too much volume. Now that made, because it hit the white, that made a lighter color. But you can see how it gets rid of the overspray really quickly. I'll air dry that. Turn the volume down. Sounds like I'm listening to music. That's cool though. That little color there that just decided to show up. I mean, probably the burnt sienna is too much. So what I'll do is I'll just put the sepia right in the airbrush, right in the mixture rather, and really wipe it out and make it be a very dark touch-up color. It's got the other colors in it still, so we're good that way. But that burnt sienna was too much, because this is not how I mix my exact colors. I go through a process that takes longer, and I also don't teach that, only privately, and I haven't been doing that either, with Drew's permission, because you can get the classroom in a box, and that'll help you out a lot. Why not get the best and forget the rest? I mean, nothing against anybody else, but if you want to learn that kind of a color theory, you got to own it, and you can own it. Classroom in a Box is on his website. It's like going to his school and taking it home and keeping it with you, because you forget a lot of stuff in a classroom environment. I've been to his classes many times, and you start forgetting. I take notes, but when you own the email comes through with a, it's not a DVD, it's an email, but you own it for life. So anyway, you can see it cleaning up a little bit there. I will be tweaking a little bit into this area, a little more brown right there, right at the base. Yeah, makes it stronger looking. You could keep going and going and going, but you can also ruin it doing a video. You can ruin it real easy. But you can see some of this cleaned up. Maybe one more area here so we can get rid of that overspray look. That's a little better. No, you don't want to use that one. You want to use this one. Yeah, it's the wrong color, but it's working still. As far as overspray, it's getting rid of it. All right, so that looks a little neater. And this area here, like I said, once I get the parts for the gun, for the airbrush, put them new parts on, and hopefully not have to invest in the head assembly. I think the head assembly is good. It's just marked up. Not new nozzle, new needle. That'll be wonderful. Okay, so what do I have here? Because you want to put the paint where you want to put it. You don't want to have it go in the wrong spot. That does have brown on there, but I'm going to have to shield it off. We've got little dots here. Put one in. Couple. Okay, I know I'm kind of, let's see, zoom in, it would be there. So I did some dots right there. Again, I've got some polishing to do. You see a little overspray went on there. I got to mix the bead color up a little. But I think this at least shows you guys what I've been working on, and take it from there by going to the lives. And then try to join me for, for the live streams on Tuesdays in the future, and like I said, if you can't make it at that time, it's Eastern Standard Time, I'm over here in New Jersey, then you can then too bad. No, I'm only kidding. Then you can just watch, save it, send it to your page, save it, and if you appreciate it, because it's all free, right? If you really like it, maybe comment or like the thing, with a little click on a button there. If you're not a subscriber, then join me, subscribe, and we can have, you can have some lessons from my experience. I'm by far not the best out there. I am just me. but I'm having a blast airbrushing, and no pun intended. I'm having a very, it's me. It's something I love to do. I've been teaching for years, and I just want to share it with you guys. At this stage in my life, that's what I'm doing. I used to have a brick and mortar, building, not no more. COVID made sure of that. And now, I am getting older, so I have to find other ways. I have to paint. I mean, that's just the way it is. I have to paint, and you guys benefit because I'm doing it this way. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I can knock this guy back a little bit with shading over it right there. There's going to be tweaking going on in here. There we go, and then maybe one more over here. So you can see where it's going. I'm going to back this out now so that you can see it as soon as I get this back, not that far. How about right there? Okay, so there we are. There we are. Jump on the live feeds with me. Thanks for checking this out. I'll be uploading this. I'm going to just clean up my airbrush, and it takes a while with YouTube when you try to upload things, especially a live stream. Live streams take about 4 or 5 hours before you can even see them that they're up. But this will be there for you guys to watch part 1 through 4. And now you saw this, and then I'll tell the guys on the live stream to jump over. They might just see something pop up. And if they don't, I'll mention it to them. Hey, if you want to see me put the shadow in, and then the rest will be tweaked off camera when I get my parts for my Micron, which are coming Monday. And so thanks for hanging out. God bless you guys. Be safe. Have a lot of fun with the airbrush. And don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's the only way you're going to get better, right? Because if you're afraid, then you won't paint. Okay, good night. Take care.